Hi, I'm going to talk to you today about rules and boundaries in the house and in the overall general relationship with your dog. So, my question to you is what rules do you have in your house for your dog? I ask this right out of the gate. Think about it in your everyday life of how you live when it comes to cuddling on the couch or how you feed your dog, if you use a crate, sleeping area. What rules do you have? A lot of the times I am told the rules I have with my dog, he's not allowed on the couch. He's not allowed in the kitchen when I'm cooking. And he's not allowed to jump all over visitors when they come. So then my question is, how many times do you have to kick your dog out of the kitchen when you're cooking? If you have to do it every time you cook, which is daily, maybe twice a day, so even in the evenings. And how often when visitors come over, the rule is not allowed to bombard everybody at the door, no jumping, no getting excitable. How often do you have to remove your dog from the door when you have visitors? Every single time. Okay. And my dog's not allowed on the couch. Okay, so your dog does not go on the couch? Well, he knows he's not allowed on the couch, but, I kick him off. How often do you kick your dog off the couch? Well, at least 2 or 3 times a day. Okay. Let me explain to you what a rule and a boundary is. A rule is something you're not allowed to do, and there's a consequence and a follow through. So then the rule is put into place and it doesn't happen. That's a boundary. So if your rules are you're not allowed in the kitchen and it continues to happen, that's a soft boundary, a negotiable boundary. It actually moves over from rule to wish list. If your dog's not allowed on the couch and he still gets up there anyway, and you have to kick him off and on and off, again, that's not a rule. That's over on the wish list. So when you think about the visitors and he's not allowed to be excitable and jump all over them, he's not allowed, but he still does. It's not a rule. A rule is something you're not allowed to do. And when you put it in place, you follow through. No gray area, no wishy-washy. And then the dog knows that you mean business, and not in a mean way. But if you can't carry through and have a rule so it sticks, and he respects it and listens, how is he going to listen or think that you can follow through and carry other places? Rules and boundaries. Even if you have no problems at the door, okay, and your dog doesn't bother you in the kitchen. And you think, well, most times I'm told, I don't have any rules. So then if your dog doesn't have any rules because you don't necessarily think you have bad behavior at home, how are you supposed to have rules when you go out? Because if he doesn't know what no means and what a rule is and a follow through, a consequence of breaking a rule, how do you expect to establish it when you're out? Leadership has to be at home, even in the calmest of times, to be effective when you go out. So let's say your dog is allowed on the couch and you don't have a problem with that. So we're going to set up a rule. And the rule is going to be that when I go to sit on the couch, you have to get off. So let's say, like the royalty, I show up to the couch and you have to get off the couch. And it's up to me to invite you back on. Most times, the emotional state of us is like, oh, he's comfy. I don't want to. You're missing the point of the psychological communication of a rule. So we would instill rules, even if you didn't really need them, to follow through so the dog understood what a rule and boundary is. And honestly, there should never be a household that doesn't have any rules or boundaries. Dogs should not allowed to be anywhere and everywhere and allowed to do whatever they want when they want. Leadership is controlling all the good things in the dog's life, all the movements, the actions, deciding what we do, when they do it, how, where, and when. Leadership, important, but we have to instill rules and boundaries. So I hope you're clear on what a rule and a boundary, same thing, is. So make sure you instill them, put them in place, and it will help you on your journey to leadership?